Presenting the award for leadership in energy is former Colorado Governor Bill Ritter, about whom we know at least three things. One is he's Christine Scanlon's favorite, pretty good. Second, I first got to know about him when I was editor of the Los Angeles Times, and his work as an innovative district attorney, prosecuting attorney, from '93 to January of 2005 was one of the things that our reporters in legal affairs looked to, since we had, you might recall, a couple of issues with legal justice in Los Angeles in the '90s. And the governor now is director of the Center for the New Energy Economy, which builds on his work as governor, in which he helped lead the way for the new energy economy, both in jobs and in vision. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So it's a great honor to be here, and thank you to the Keystone Policy Center for the invitation. When I was governor, I used to say all the time, this work on energy, the environment, on climate change, matters so much to our children and our grandchildren. And at the time, it was sort of conceptual for me. It's not conceptual tonight. My daughter-in-law is in labor in Arlington, Virginia, and she's either going to have her daughter tonight or tomorrow, and saying it matters to our children and our grandchildren will be concrete, not conceptual when I say it. But what an important thing to think about, and why I accepted the invitation to present this award is because it's actually true. The planet that our children and our grandchildren will live on in 10 years, in 30 years, in 60 years matters so much in terms of the decisions that we make today. And we know some things are true. We know change is coming. And we know change will be disruptive. But what that change is a function of whether we are its architect or its victim. And the great thing about being able to present the award, there you are over there, Julia, we were sitting in the same place, to the Smart Electric Power Alliance, is this is a group of human beings who believe that we should be the architects of change. So it's been talked a little bit about here tonight, and I think one of the hallmarks of the Keystone Policy Center, and certainly my relationship with Christine Scanlon when I was governor, she was a legislator, was to really think about this in terms of how we collaborate and how we get to common ground. And I've always said that the decisions that we make, if they're informed by people that think a little bit differently than us, are going to be better decisions. And I think the Keystone Policy Center has been about that kind of collaboration and that kind of common ground. In the 51st state project of the Smart Electric Power Alliance, you notice I'm looking at my notes because they changed their name. And that fools people. The Smart Electric Power Alliance is that, right? They have the combination of a vision about how we transform the electric sector, how we do that in a way that's responsible to the environment, but also that is thinking about equity among all of the people who pay rates out there. So it's about the environment, it's about equity, it's about economic development, but it really is about a vision for the 21st century and about how we need to reform the system and how we need to really have a different business model for utilities. These are a group of people who understand collaboration at a level different than a lot of other people working on this issue and this problem. I'm not going to go into Julia's biography, but it's in the program and you should read it, because Julia Hamm is this impressive leader who has done a tremendous amount of work taking this agency and bringing it along so that it could be part of creating a vision for what we're going to be in the 21st century. And Julia, what I can say tonight is that your work that you're doing now with the 51st state and the other work that you're doing, the way that you collaborate, the way you sort of look for ideas that people can come together on, will make a difference in the life of my granddaughter. Julia Hamm, Smart Electric Power.
Well, I got to do this, I'm short. Thank you, Governor Ritter, and thank you to the Keystone Policy Center. Honestly, I feel like I just won an Oscar. This is the closest I am ever going to get to winning an Oscar. And in all seriousness, if the Keystone Awards were the Oscar, I would be up here accepting this award as the producer of the movie that just won Best Picture. In its early stages, the 51st State Initiative was definitely a science fiction film. That would have been its categorization. After all, we were talking about a fictional 51st state. But as we prepare for making the sequel of the 51st state in our next phase, where the initiative begins to focus on transition plans for real, actual states, I expect it will be labeled an action film, an adventure film, and I can probably guarantee at times a drama. Like any major motion picture, so many people have been involved in the success of the 51st State Initiative. John Sterling, who's here with us tonight, who is SEPA's Senior Director of Research and Advisory Services, can be called the director of the 51st State, using his vision and creativity along with organizational and technical skills to drive towards a successful outcome. And while I don't have time to spell out the roles of each of SEPA's staff members on our 51st State team using my film analogy, I do want to thank all of them, many who are here tonight, for their commitment to and passion for the initiative. Then we have our group of film technical advisors who ensure that a complicated topic area is portrayed accurately. These would be the members of our 51st State Executive Leadership Council, again, many of whom are here with us tonight and have been integral in steering the initiative. Thank you to all of you for your time and energy. And no movie can be successful without a good script. A good script comes from its writers, which in the case of the 51st State are the individuals and organizations who spent long days and nights putting pen to paper during the first phase of the initiative to articulate their visions for the future, and during the second phase of the initiative to create roadmaps for how we get from where we are today to where we're headed. A number of them are also here with us tonight to celebrate this award, and this really is an award for all of us who've been involved. The most amazing thing is these people who have contributed their thoughts and their thought leadership to the initiative, who range from utility executives to trade association leaders to entrepreneurs, weren't paid $4 million like the screenwriter for what I'm sure is everyone's favorite movie, Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. In fact, they were paid nothing, but they saw the value of engaging an initiative that will help steer the future of their industry. And last but not least are all of the people who are watching our 51st State movie as it unfolds, whether they are doing so from their desk as a utility CEO, policymaker, technology innovator, or a large user of electricity. These moviegoers may not seem like active participants at first glance, but they are the ones who ultimately will put what they learn into action as they become involved in discussions about the future of the electric power sector in their own state. Like a successful movie that has impact far beyond its time in theaters, we hope the 51st State continues to engage you and encourage you to think big. Thank you again for this honor.